Hi, I'm Jenny. I am a freelance developer and I run the Facebook group for female developers called Women in Web Dev. This is a Facebook Live that I did a few weeks ago. Hello! All right, it's been a while since I've been live, but I got a great question today from Emily about remote work, and I thought it would be a great chance for me to jump on live to answer these questions. Personally, I am surrounded with so many remote workers and entrepreneurs that it's difficult for me to remember that not everyone knows what a remote job is. So, first of all, a remote job is a job that you can do from home or a co-working space. So, it means that you can take your work anywhere. So for some positions, you do have to be in specific time zones. So say if my company expected me to be on Vancouver time, I could go to Asia, but I would need to work like at night to make sure that I am still working the same hours as everyone else. So it does depend on the job. Um, I I know some people who's done it before, like their office is in New York and they were in Thailand and they just pulled all-nighters and they were willing to do it because they could live in Thailand and get massages. Um, so that's the essence of a remote work, of a remote job. So it's a job that you can take with you anywhere. Um, and some companies do have restrictions on like you do have to be in the same country or the same time zones. It just depends on the job. Next, how to find remote work. Um, so there are a lot of sites that focuses on posting just remote jobs. They're like Remote OK or remotive.io. If you search in Google, just say remote job boards, you'll find all of them. And you can also find remote work through things like Facebook groups or like anywhere that you can connect with people online. The application process. So it's very similar to how you would apply to a normal job. They ask you for your resume and maybe a cover letter. It is a little bit different in the sense that since they might not see you face to face, you do have to put up a more polished appearance for during your application process, and make sure that you are like your communication skills is really clear and really polished. And the reason for that is because when you're working remotely, your primary way of communicating with your coworkers is going to be through something like Slack, like email, writing documentation, putting down comments in your project management tool. So there's a lot of writing and written communication involved. So you have to make sure that it is top notch whenever you're communicating with the companies. And for applying for remote jobs, one top tip is to do a video cover letter or like a little video introduction to kind of show your personality and give them a sense of who you are. It is much more effective than just sending a generic cover letter. And the video, it doesn't have to be too long. Like if you do any more than 2 minutes, the company, like whoever's watching it, will probably get bored. So you want to keep it short, but you do want to do a video cover letter. Like I know it sounds scary, but it is really going to make the key difference in your application. For the interview, is it like a normal job interview? It is. The only difference is that you'll probably be meeting through video or Skype. You won't be meeting face to face. But yeah, everything else is pretty much the same in terms of the interview. Like when people are hiring developers, you usually have you might have a phone interview at first to see that you know what you're talking about. There might be a technical test. So with a normal interview, they'll just send it to your email and you do it. And it's the same thing for a remote job. Yeah, and then finally you might have some interviews and it'll be through video versus going to the office. Okay, how do you get paid as a remote worker? So it depends if the company is in the same country that you are. So for getting paid, if your company is established in a different country than you, they can't legally hire you and treat you as an employee. You would be a contractor, which means the company will pay you, but you're responsible for deducting any taxes to your own government. Because if I'm based in Canada, I don't have the ability to hire an actual employee in the States, as it is legally defined in the law. I can't remit your taxes for you, or the benefits are going to be different, that kind of stuff. So for me, I just receive my pay in my bank account through a bank transfer. And your company might do something similar. It just really depends on your country and how the company can actually best send money to you. But if they're hiring you as a remote employee, they're going to figure it out too, okay? So don't worry, you'll be supported in getting your money. In terms of benefits, if you're a contractor, you probably are not going to be getting benefits. Now, some company, they will say find a plan, a healthcare plan that's similar to what we offer to other employees. So you'll have to go out and shop for it. And then once you have it, you can then say, okay, it costs $100 for me to be on this plan. So the company will give you that $100 to cover that health expense. And can you get more than one remote job? Okay, so again, it depends on the job that you're doing. If you're hired on as a full-time employee, just if you're hired full-time in an in-person job, you wouldn't want more than one full-time job unless you've cleared it with your employer. You can't do two full-time jobs, right? Because when they're paying for you to show up full-time, they're expecting that this job that you're doing is going to be your primary focus. Now, if you're hired on as a part-time employee, say 20 hours a week, then there's nothing stopping you to get another job that gives you another 20 hours. Employers know that you need to feed yourself, you need to earn money. Can't offer you full-time work. They can't expect that you're only working that one job. Yeah. So I hope this answers your question about remote work. I have a remote job myself, so I work as a full stack developer for SmartIQ. So I don't have a commute. I just pull up my laptop and start work. And to communicate with my coworkers, we have a weekly stand-up meeting where we tell each other what we're up to for the week. And every day on Slack, before we start the day, we just have a summary of what we did the day before. what we're planning to do for the day, and if we have any issues that we need help with for the day. So it helps us to get a sense of what each other is doing for the week. And at the end of the week, we have a retro meeting through Google Hangouts, just to kind of come together and talk about what went well, what didn't go so well, and what could be improved. Yeah, so that meeting is for us to improve our processes as a team, because like it's still in a startup for my company, and there's lots of processes that we need to iron out, and these weekly meetings helps us share ideas and kind of keep track of our progress. So yeah, that's what a remote job is. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments and I'll get back to you.